I recently bought this dehydrator from Amazon and wanted to give it a go. So I opened it up and began inspecting it. The construction seemed a little bit flimsy, but it was pretty high rated and got some really good reviews, so I'm hopeful. It came with this little instruction booklet that included some recipes, and I started looking through it to see if there was anything that caught my eye, and I did see something that I was interested in: beef jerky. I've never made beef jerky before. I found a really good recipe online, so I was excited to give it a go. We'll be using top round steak. It doesn't have a lot of fat in it and is ideal for beef jerky making. So we'll set some paper towels down so nobody in the house gets angry. I'll put that in the freezer for a little bit to firm up to make slicing easier. We'll make the marinade. We're going to start with 1 cup of soy sauce. And then we're going to add 2 tablespoons of Worcestershire Sauce. I can never say that. 2 tablespoons of brown sugar. 2 teaspoons of salt. 2 teaspoons of garlic powder. 1 teaspoon of onion powder. 1 teaspoon of paprika. 1/4 teaspoon of Ancho chili powder. And finally 1 teaspoon of black pepper. Once everything's in the bag, we'll seal it up and shake it up, make sure everything gets incorporated. Make sure the sugar dissolves. So here's that top round steak, and I got it out of the package and dry it off a little bit. And I'm going to go through and just try to trim off some of the excess fat, because we do not want that for our beef jerky. And here I'm just slicing it up, trying to go as thin as possible. I made sure I had a really sharp knife, and this went really easily. There's a difference between the final texture of the beef jerky depending on if you cut the meat with the grain or against the grain. I did a little bit of both to try to see if I could tell a difference in the end product. So the sliced meat is just going into the bag, and then I'm going to seal that up and put it in the refrigerator. And that's going to sit for 6 hours once it's all done. Once that's been in there for 6 hours, we'll pull it out and we'll put it in the dehydrator. So it's been 6 hours, and I'm pulling it out and trying not to make too much of a mess, but I'm placing the jerky strips on the tray. I didn't make a whole lot. There wasn't a ton there to that top round steak. But I think it's enough to have a nice small batch. Looking at the strips, they look pretty good. Looks like they did soak up the marinade pretty well. They smell pretty good. I'll be excited to see what these are like in the morning. So it's been 12 hours and these are done. Looking at them, I mean, I've never made beef jerky before, but this seems like beef jerky. They smell good. They were a little saltier than I would prefer. The taste and the flavor were great. Not as spicy as I was hoping for. So if you want more spice and less salt, you could probably adjust those amounts on your individual recipes. Put the batch in just a Ziploc baggie. It's not going to last too long. My wife and I both like this recipe. Thanks for watching.